Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to the ESL One Cologne offline qualifiers. Of course, we're still here in the Katowice ESL Arena, of course. It is the last game of the day, just around the corner. The last time these two teams played was actually at MLG Columbus, and it was Gambit Gaming that managed to beat Team EnVyUS 16-13, effectively sending them out of the entire tournament. And from there, of course, we did start to see Envy struggling somewhat in the coming months, but they're looking to be back on form. It seems that Devil's Calling is almost bringing them a bit of a revival. We saw Apex on fire yesterday as well, not only making entry frags, but staying alive and locking down sites. Just as MBK said earlier on, they're back to the drawing board and they're back to the grind. But of course, speaking about Gambit, those guys had quite a struggle game up against Optic. They found themselves well behind at halftime, 4-11 the score was, and they managed to bring it back as well in a clean 16-14 by the end. Doja putting up good numbers, but generally the entirety of Gambit putting in good work. So, again, whoever wins this match goes 2-0 and sets himself one match away from qualifying for the major, and the loser here as well still has to fight for their chance to get to LANXESS at all. Alex, we've had a huge day of games so far already, but I think we may have just saved the best for last here, as Envy were on fire yesterday.
I don't know, I can't help but look past that Tyloo, Mitch. What was your favourite so far?
I actually have to say the previous game there as well. Mousesport's coming back up there. That was excellent stuff as well, especially because we know Cloud9, while they may struggle on T-side Mirage, their CT is excellent.
It certainly is. Maybe just get Slemmy in the driving seat a bit more on T-side, and we're going to see more from C9. Anyway, let's get into it. Guys on the desk, thanks very much, Mitch. Let's start talking about Gambit versus Envy. He's raised a lot of great points, and I do want to start with his opener there, where he did say that the last time these did play was at the major, and it was that, of course, very eye-opening defeat, and Envy kind of looked like it was like one of the last blows before Envy kind of exploded into a little bit of a, I don't want to say kind of non-existent period, but they really did stop playing the Envy that we knew.
Yeah, and I think that was pretty much Envy in the darkest timeline.
Perfect,
if you want to look at it that way. So, I think afterwards we've seen better and better results. Obviously, they're not back to their old glory, but from what we saw yesterday, that was very promising stuff. Obviously, it's one best of one, and it's one map, so who knows if the 6 other maps in the map pool are just complete in shambles. But just judging from how they looked, playing on Dust 2, it looked like a revitalized Envy, kind of similar to what we saw from G2, right? Just playing with more confidence and feeling more comfortable with where they are.
And already the veto is up on your screens. I mean, Blue, do make your point while the veto goes on, but do feel free to chip in if anything takes your fancy.
Yeah, I mean, from the very limited preview we've seen of them from the one map they did play, I do feel like it was a very nice move to actually have their new player take over the in-game leading for them. Sort of almost exactly actually like the move that Cloud9 decided to make. So that more of the experienced players can just go back in and do the fragging while the new guy sort of gets used to things. He also takes in the leadership role a little bit too. So I mean, that move seems to be working out and may become a common one now for teams that are struggling and want to play a looser style. Also adapting, as they said in the interview yesterday, the nip style things too, or might not be taking things as serious, sort of just trying to have as much fun as possible in those games so as not to add pressure onto the players when they get in these closer situations.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And well, the veto so far isn't that surprising, really. Neither Envy or Gambit play
Cbble again. Is this a joke?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but it's very, very likely given the teams playing.
Yeah, and I mean, let's not forget, Gambit did play, I believe, it was Cbble versus Optic as well.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But that wasn't the most impressive showing. Well, I guess one of the halves was actually pretty alright, but
yeah.
We haven't seen them have a complete game on Cobblestone.
Because it was 11-4 to Optic,
yeah,
and Gambit proceeded to win 16-14.
Hey, what do you know?
Oh, I've never seen this map before! Exclamation mark drop in chat, everyone. But what do we do about this then? Cobblestone between Envy and Gambit. Where does that kind of put your minds at?
Well, obviously Envy has been playing Cobblestone quite a bit as of late, but they haven't been too successful on it. But then again, they haven't really been successful on any map in the last couple of months. So.
Apart from last game versus
exactly
Immortals,
last game. So if you want to take very, very recent form, I'm not actually too afraid on Envy's behalf. I actually think this is Gambit going pretty much with their safest pick out of the what they could choose from, which is fair enough. But I don't think what they showed versus Optic will be good enough to actually beat Envy.
Okay, so there's some doubt for Gambit. Admittedly, a 16-14 comeback story versus Optic. It's the only real story we can tell so far from Gambit Blue.
Yeah, you still have to pull as well the fact that EnVy are just going to bring way more experience to this map in general over the course of... I mean, despite the fact they've been struggling as of late, they still bring a lot more of that to the table from their past matchups when they were still playing very well on this map in previous times. So going into this one, I still feel like based on the very hit-or-miss performance, I guess you could call it, that we saw from Gambit yesterday, I have to agree with you when I say it's not going to be anywhere close to enough to actually take control of this map against a team with as much experience as EnVyUS, despite their recent struggles.
Yeah, because I think even if you have the struggles that, well, EnVyUS had, I don't think they're, you know, well, simply they're not inexperienced enough to make the same mistake Optic made repeatedly, time and time again, when they were playing versus Gambit.
I'm just going to double check. It was, okay, so it was on the T side where Gambit made their comeback.
Yeah.
And
so the CT side of Optic
did just get the knife. So it'd be intriguing to see whether they choose to start on what is, well, to us it seems like their stronger side, or whether they'll go into that defensive side of Cbble. It would make more sense to start on the attack.
Yeah, and honestly, I think more and more teams are just kind of more comfortable playing that T side. Obviously, with CT side being so limited as to what you can do in terms of finding information and so on that map, it does feel kind of claustrophobic if you to play that way and start off a game like that. So having a T-side, having kind of freedom to move about, that's probably a nice way to get into it.
It's not a necessarily uncommon move to start on the CT side though, especially for teams that may not be as rehearsed on their T side and bring like a very in-depth strat book.
Sure.
I think it gives them a sort of level to work with if they start on the CT side, because
obviously here's the goal we have to reach.
Like okay, this is what's happened now because this is what we have to work against. So this is what we need to bring on our T side basically. And for a lot of those teams with the very basic T sides, it can help them sort of gauge their performance in the second half.
Well, you made it clear before, but I'm just going to quickly double check. You are both siding with EnVy here. You'd be not going for the wild card pick. No. Okay. just making sure. You never know. Gambit already have picked up one win, and chances are they could push it to EnVy unless the EnVy that we did see versus Immortals yesterday does show up. There's a lot of excitement surrounding the French squad, of course, major champions back in their day, and we're going to hopefully be seeing them at the major, but they have to do this. They have to get that second under their belt, and it's time to find out how it does go down. It's Cobblestone between Gambit and EnVy. Newcasters are ready for our final game of day 2 here at the offline qualifier.
Thank you very much, Alex, and for the final time today, we are going to be jumping back into the fray. As both teams currently reside on a 1-0, they'll be looking to emulate and rinse and repeat from what Mouse Sports just did and take a 2-0 going through and potentially qualifying themselves tomorrow. Yep. And I think a lot of the favourites here, people will be expecting EnVyUS to take this. They performed very well yesterday on paper. They have the tried and tested members. But let's not look past Gambit. These guys have been around the block quite a few times.
Yeah, they definitely have. And well, yesterday, to be fair, Optic should have had that game against Gambit
Absolutely.
every day of the week. It was a huge throw from Optic, if I'm honest with you. CT side, you win 2 eco rounds and only 1 an actual buy round. And even Gambit wasn't even doing anything particularly great on the T side, just a lot of pick and go kind of play. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be way harder for Gambit this time around. And it's interesting to see. Obviously, EnVy has been going through this struggle phase for the past 5 months or so, and now we know Devil is in-game leading, and they've had some downtime. They haven't really been competing in a lot of things for a few weeks at least. So that means that they've had some time to try and reinvent themselves, something they've been trying to do for a while. So this is the first outing we see with them, with the, I guess, the current firm on Cobblestone. So interesting to see.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid job yesterday. They swept aside Immortals 16-6, I believe. In the end, it was very one-sided, and the scoreline tells the full story, to be completely honest. Apex played like an animal, and Cobblestone is a map where they could really look towards him to open things up nicely, get some entry frags under his belt. And last couple of times that EnVyUS played Cobblestone, I mean, it has been one of their staple maps, right? Like, when you think of EnVyUS, you think that Cobblestone's really solid.
Exactly.
They swept aside Dignitas 11-4, they beat FaZe 16-11. 16-4, sorry, not 11-4. What am I talking about? It's been a long day. But they are very powerful on this map. So I think when you take into account, as you said, that Gambit really should have lost the game yesterday, the fact EnVyUS is so strong on this map, I can only see it going one way.
Exactly. And to me, actually, doing MLG, I thought Gambit could be going through the group stage. I thought that the lineup they had at the time, and the dynamic with Vale and Remo, and if we get a Dosha, the Dosha can be. I thought that trio could really lift some weight, but obviously no weight under anymore. He left after the major, or like quite recently. So now they've brought in Space. So ever since that, it's been kind of underwhelming. They've been struggling in a lot of qualifier games against teams they should be beating any day of the week. But obviously, there's another chance for them to revitalize and show us that they are actually capable. We are finally in the game. And as you can see, we have EnVy on that T side and Gambit CT side, and the game's underway.
Well, when you consider the Gambit have lost against teams like DenDD, FM Esports as well, it doesn't necessarily bode too well, but that's in the past. Let's focus on the here and now. The fact of the matter is that they've kicked things off nicely with Devil dropping first to the hands of Dozier. And Armo comes in as well, lands himself in the headshot space, is going to go down, but Dozier is there for another kill, leaving Apex, the beast from yesterday, with it all to do. He's picked up the Tech 90 from the corpse of one of his teammates, but the CZ is too strong.
Well, that was a quick one there. EnVy tried to do a bit of a split through drop and B long into B bomb site, but not really getting the openings to take over the bomb site. Not even getting the bomb down, and good solid job there from the guys of Gambit, not just losing one player, not being Spaze in the process. Now in round number 2, it seems like the boys in EnVy have decided to force into this. They have some P250s and Tech 9s and a smoke and a bunch of flashes, so you can expect some kind of a push coming into some part of the map here where it's going to be just a rain of flashes coming in.
Spaze, of course, not to be confused with Spaz. I always get it mixed up personally. Speaking of him, he has broken the deadlock in round 2 onto Apex. It's a pretty big scalp to take. Oh, in the meanwhile, he's going to make short work of 1, 2, 3 players to line up with the MP9. Switches to his sidearm, but that's going to be him bowing out. He's going to get plenty of farm for his troubles, and Gambit moves swiftly to a 2-0. And for me, this is one of their keys to success. These are the things we need to be seeing as both pistol rounds won if they want a good chance at winning this.
Yeah, and then keeping it clean here against a force like that, and then an anti-eco, as we can see here in this round, would also be very vital. From an EnVy point of view, obviously not really able to do anything that round. Not even close once again to get a bomb plant, so it's not a great start for the Frenchmen. But it's still early days. We're going to see them actual eco now. Love creative pistols, but that's all they have. No utility whatsoever, so getting a bomb plant I think is even less likely in this round.
We know these guys, though, are happy enough with pistols in their hands. They can definitely make them work. P250, though, is asking a lot. Or maybe a mistake of Gambit walking into traps than anything else. And interestingly enough, Mo actually got himself the Zeus, eats 97 damage off the P250 as he gets headshotted down. But Apex, again, is going to drop the grenade on the retreat. Does significant damage. MVK down to 1 health. Pooch is going to maybe pick this one up, but Mo, with just his 3 health, comes out swinging with 2 shots.
That was like a meat grinder there.
Very nice. Now Devil with 2 health. Witnesses the deaths of all his teammates, and he will follow suit shortly.
He's crying himself to sleep in this corner here, knowing that there's nothing he can do. The bomb starts to make his way out, but who's to take care of it? It's going to be a quick 3-0 for Gambit, and now finally we get to see a buy round from EnVy. Obviously not the best of buy rounds because of the money situation they are in right now, and interestingly, looking at this buy from EnVy, you gotta ask yourself,
well, surely
who took their medicine this morning?
This composition weapons has to mean rush.
Yeah, well, you would, yeah.
You don't take Mac 10 from B9 and play slow.
Exactly. I'm thinking they're just rushing B, and that's exactly what we're having here. The first 2 guys are just running in there, trying to go around to the bomb side, but it's going to be Adrian with that Molotov. Devil coming with a kill, but then it's all going to be on Gambit right now, and that SMG rush is being nullified.
Well, the issue with this SMG rush as well is they've been completely hammered down, and you expect that Gambit should have this dead to rights from this point. So EnVyUS already getting kicked in the side quite a few times. Dozier with 2 kills to round things off. Blaster frags him with 2, Adren with 3. And just like that, EnVyUS back to drawing board. The thing is, they didn't necessarily commit fully into that bite, so they can get another one rapidly with AKs.
But it's still not going to be perfect, is it?
True.
It's no AWP in play
for Kenny.
Whatsoever. And you see a CZ and Galil. Still quite a bit of utility to be used, but the money on Gambit's side is already looking very pretty. So if they keep it clean on this one as well, this could get really tough for EnVy.
Certainly so. As you mentioned, the fact it's 4-0 and they've had a lot of SMG kills. Gambit are sitting pretty. They got $7,000 to $8,000, and of course there'll be even more than that after this round ends. Whether they win or lose, they can easily get an AWP in the hands of Gambit and try and run home with it. So EnVyUS, you're wondering if that map yesterday was maybe a bit of a blip on the radar. A couple points to prove, I feel. Gambit have started very well. They've got solid foundations of which they can build off. Dren has picked up Apex, so once again, they claim themselves first blood, this time in round number 5. Spares just holding the close angle. He's got movement to his right-hand side, but he's playing this patiently for now. EnVyUS is going to come out, land the headshot, but the trades back and forth. MBK down to 7 health. He's been spotted, and will he get fragged? Yes, he will. And now Devil on drop with the Galil in a 1v2. Pardon me, he's on B-long, not in drop.
Oh, it's been a
going
long
crazy.
day. It's been a long day.
I think I was watching Mo, and I was like, yeah, that's obviously Devil, mate.
So I'm 1-on-2. Has a 97 HP. Only 25 seconds to work with. I don't think Coach really needs to do anything. Just wait for Devil to commit, and it's going to be Mo getting that kill. And get another round going the way of Gambit, and that was kind of an interesting one from Envy. Just basically working towards that B bomb set very slowly. Trying to get those picks. Obviously, not the perfect buy for them, and now they're going to be getting into the Tech-9 territory once again.
Worrying thing for me here, Natu, is after 5 rounds, they only have 6 kills in total on the side of EnVyUS. Exactly. How often would you say that?
Yeah, I know, right? So it's definitely not been an ideal start for Envy.
And also, hence Gambit's economy just booming. They haven't had to replenish many weapons. They're still looking really solid. They've got 10k in the hands of Mo. So EnVyUS, it's definitely not been a walk in the park so far, but with this mixed weaponry by pistols, they're looking to maybe sell a fake. The bomb is heading towards A, which is only going to be locked down from Mo. Meanwhile, Happy is going to be selling this fake perfectly. He's going to be coming out onto the site with the M4. How much damage can he inflict? Apex is going to charge straight in and bags himself the kill onto Mo. That's a pretty significant frag, and with the smoke cordoning off Dozzy, it's going to be on Hooch now to try and play all by himself, but he's got 2 kills. He finally goes down, but has he done enough for the rest of his team to move back in on the site?
Dosha is down to 9 HP, so that makes things a little harder. Gambit is going to boost Dosha up from drop. He's going to go on that monster flank right now through middle. And now let's see if the players from Envy are going to be ready for that. They are situated so that I think they have walls on either side of them, though. Oh, actually, Kenny is quite wide open here. So the timing works perfectly for Dosha. Could be good, but Kenny with a nice headshot onto Adrian now. It's all for Dosha to do here. He's being spotted. Oh, well, he gets the nice shot onto Kenny, but it's going to be Devil to get that final kill. And finally, Envy on the board. And that being only a half buy from Envy means that they will still have plenty of money to buy with going into this round.
Absolutely. Had that been a full buy, they'd have been struggling right now to replenish those weapons. But as you say, it was just Tech-9's pretty much with the Kevlar. As we did touch on before, though, Gambit, easy rebuy for them. First AWP we've seen in the hands of them on the hands of Mo. It would seem that EnVyUS is playing aggressively up on B platform. He is going to meet some resistance. Dren's just going to be tapping through. Nearly loses his life, manages to scamper away, throws out a grenade on the retreat, knocks MBK down to 42. Meanwhile, Apex is doing work in drop. He's looking to bounce out with Happy. And they're bagging themselves plenty of kills, EnVyUS, so they're doing the damage on the site. Spade's still on the back of the statue, though, with 2 kills, and he's hungry for more as well. The bomb's been dropped out on the platform. But he can see he has no idea where these terrorists could be coming from because Mo was just holding from the door. Instead, the flashbang lands in his face, and EnVyUS are going to get themselves 2 in a row.
Nice flash, by the way.
A very nice flash, yeah, into the doors.
In that 2-on-1 situation, totally blinding Mo, but there's the work that Envy managed to do. Get some kills and drop and be long. And Spade's trying to keep his team in the round, but are not able to do that. So that's going to be Envy having those 2 rounds in a row, and it has actually broken the economy of Gambit. They will have to go for a save here.
I think they're pretty close to maybe reaching a threshold to buy, but instead just playing it smart.
Yes.
And safe.
Play the long game.
Exactly. They already have the 5-2 lead. There's no rush. There's no huge pressure. Mac 10s. Oh, Apex with 2. He mentioned he was going to be a determining factor for EnVyUS, and he's got a 3rd kill as well, all with the Mac 10, so plenty of money in the bank. Hooch last player with a Deagle. Bomb planted. How many players can Hooch take down with him? Oh, he probably would have had that kill onto Apex. Nearly gets up the 2nd time of asking, but there's the op from EnVyUS. 3 rounds now for EnVyUS.
Envy has definitely signed up for this game now, getting 3 in a row. And let's see how they approach. It's been very B-heavy so far, except for that Tech-9 round they won, where they faked B, and then the rest of the team were going towards that A bomb site. So we can see there's still going to be 2 Tech 9s. I mean, Mac 10s. Wow, it's been a long day, hasn't it? Mac 10s in play. 2 AKs and AWQ and Kenny. Meanwhile, let's see this side they have an op on the hands of Mo. Seems to be a bit of a default here. Happy just working B long, getting on top of that B along. Actually, he's jumped down. He's going to just plow into this B bomb side, but with that Mac in hand, is he going to be able to make it? No, Dosha finally gets a kill, but goes down in HP. Hoosh as well, chiming in, but he is so wide open that there's nothing really he can do. And he's going to get downed.
4-on-3. Mo takes down MBK on the cross. The bomb also flung into midair from EnVyUS. It's going to be very difficult to salvage at this point for Devil. Finds himself on a 1 versus 4. He knows roughly where Mo is. Spots a glimpse of the shoulder. Space is there to finish him off. So EnVyUS' streak has came to an abrupt end. But again, because of the streak, they got a buy-in again going for Mac 10s. 4 Mac 10s.
Are you trying to reinvent the meta somehow, or like what's going on? I mean, interesting. Well, let's see what they do. I'm guessing it's going to be another V-Rush coming in.
Yeah, I'd love to see things switched up, but against Paloma, this is
next level. Has to be said.
Has to be Rush.
Well, it's obvious it's going to be. Kenny's going to be the first man in, and he gets stuck there, being blinded, and now it's going to be Mo with a double. It'd be a make 3 kills. Why not? And that gets nullified before anything really happening. That's a good question for Midge to ask if he gets an opportunity from Envy. What's going on with the back 10s?
I think that is certainly a fair question to ask. That being said, even if they're AKs, if Mo's landing 2-for-1 shots and a 3rd AWP shot, doesn't really matter what weapon you have at that point. I suppose it's the mentality that you put into when you have Mac 10. There's no point playing slow there. You have to go for a rush. That's where the potency of the weapon lays. So you're playing yourself maybe into the firing squad when it comes to the AWP. But Gambit, I mean, they funneled it off. The good thing about the Mac 10 buy, I guess, for EnVyUS is you don't commit too much money to it, so you can then just go back to the AK-47s. And maybe, you know, I said before with Flipside when I was casting them, they're very predictable on their cobblestone. EnVyUS have been anything but predictable so far, so that could really keep Gambit on their tiptoes.
Let's see what the approach is this time. Mo is going to be in danger. Taking this wide peek towards the middle. It's just going to be teased. They're spamming middle. Mo getting that kill on Apex, though, to open things up. Weaken the attack from Envy to start things off.
Solid counter-strike from Gambit so far. Can't really fault to them. Happy. Up in drop. Waiting for some support from MBK. Bomb still mid from Devil. Time to burn for EnVyUS, but they do find themselves at a player disadvantage. Those you're looking to maybe pop flash in for Space to have a quick peek. Behind the box he resides. Here we go. Looking to get this one done. Here comes the pop flashing and have a peek afterwards from Space, but that smoke slightly going to be stopping his vision, and I feel like if that smoke wasn't down, MBK probably a dead man. Going to go for the pop flash himself. Meanwhile, Kenny S is trying to boost over the smoke to peer through towards mid, but it's Hooch on the tight left that could be the team anchor for Gambit. If he can get at least a kill, then they should be gold. And that being said, actually, EnVyUS have given up the chase. They're going to go onto the B site, which is where MBK is battling, but he's going to burn to a crisp from Adren. Beforehand, he did take him down with him. 3-on-3.
Well, here to come, Dosha is going to be possibly the X factor, but he is not going to be that because he goes down by Devil. Happy also getting a kill for that trade-off, favoring EnVyUS heavily. It becomes a 2-on-1 situation now. The last remaining CT, being Hooch, is on the flank from long, though. Kenny getting that fake safe plant, though. And I think he spotted him, too. So this should be a really hard run for Hooch. You don't need to overextend. It's going to be Kenny to get that last kill as well. Great awareness from Kenny there for the possibility of that flank coming in and just planning it safe and then checking it for the flank, which was actually coming in. It's going to be another round going the way of Envy.
Yeah, spot checking it as well, leaping over the statue, just gets a millisecond of vision. Spots the player, gives a call out, and from there on in it was easy pickings for EnVyUS. Still, this map, you have to feel, hangs in the balance. It's absolutely anybody's map. He's going to step up and grab it with both hands. Gambit now looking to be dwindling a little bit on the grenade front. Space and Mo have nothing in terms of grenades, but they do have an AWP. So happily sacrifice the extra utility for that extra firepower.
These are slowly progressing here. Apex going for that little peek. One of these teammates happy towards drop. Wish I can need Molotovs. Never mind, that was a CT Molotov coming in. does make his way down. He's trying to be sneaky. This forces Dosha out to drop. He's gonna smoke off that doorway to make it impossible for Apex to make a move and move. Oh, he's not gonna get that shot. I thought it was 100% on.
Me too. He
Only
did tag him.
He did tag him, yeah. But no kill.
Wow, that could prove to be massive actually for EnVyUS. They have conceded the first kill though. MBK goes down from Mo, so he finished off what he started. Adrian now from Rock has dropped the bomb, and here comes Space from the back of the site doing work. Kenny S is going to step up and deliver a headshot partially through the wall. 1-on-2 now. Trying his flicks. We know this guy is so crazy with the AWP, but there's just too much to aim at, too many moving parts, and he will get silenced, pardon me. So Gambit now 8-4 in the lead, and EnVyUS's economy has once again broken down.
Yeah, it feels to me like they get stuck a little bit too long to that B long or the plateau area. You need to be able to apply pressure to chicken coop and back at the bomb site and just get the wall of smokes like everyone else does. When getting on that bomb site, get that bomb down and force the bomb plant. Instead, they gotta pick it apart one by one. Eventually, though they do make it kind of possible, but Kenny not able to make that 1-on-2 happen. It's going to be a pistol armor by here, coming from long here. Mo and Hooch are going to be the ones on hot sheet. Kenny does get a kill, but so does Mo. So it's a 1-for-1 trade for Mo. Gets another nice shot with the AWP. He's going to be under immense pressure from all the angles possible. Just get taken down, but still the numbers do favor Gambit before. It's going to be Dibble and Happy getting 2 kills, and now it's all up to Space.
This can't happen after Mo's crazy opening couple shots. 1v1, Devil has the AWP. Not necessarily known for his AWPing prowess, but he just needs one chance. I'd also like to draw the attention to the fact that Mo's on 20 for 7, and we're only in the 13th round. What a beast. But this round is still up for grabs. Plenty of time. Mind games may be in effect. Space can't assume this is going to be the A play. For all he knows, Devil is already a couple steps away from the B plant.
Exactly. Instead, he's going the way of a bomb site right now. But neither does Devil have any idea of where Space is going to be. So he's got to check every single corner. I think Space will hear this bomb, but he does. That's going to initially be pushing towards the connector to that bomb, towards the bomb site. Devil, well, we have an op, so might as well try to take that out. Instead, he has a P250.
Maybe the call came through that Space could be quite low. So opting for the P250, close range over the AWP. And he shows not too confident and lands the headshot. Beautiful play from Devil. And that could be the moment where EnVyUS get a bit of momentum back in their favor, because Gambit find themselves now in an eco.
What a shot there from Devil, has to be said. He would have favored FaZe in a lot of, or Space rather, in a lot of scenarios there. But a nice headshot there from Devil to win that 1-on-1. Like you said, a very important round for Envy. It's going to break the economy for Gambit, and right now Envy is very close from hitting the 7 mark, which is, you say, maybe the bare minimum on the T side of Cobblestone nowadays.
Oh, definitely. Still wouldn't be happy with 7 rounds for me on EnVyUS, but solid CT half. Expect to be coming up. Kenny has missed his chance in a second. He gets dinked in front of his eyes. MBK has been dropped as well. Throws out the flashbang to stop the charge. Ooh. The retaliation switches to a grenade. It's not going to cost him his life, but for a few seconds it looked likely. Happy has his back anyway. And Kenny goes for another peek. It's uncharacteristic of him to miss that many shots.
It's going to be that AK-47 loss as well, so
yeah.
Not out from the situation, but Apex equalizes the situation. He's gone down drop. He has 2 players during connector. He has to be aware of, but the bomb is still in the B hole. It's very deep in, so they haven't really made any commitments. Hooch, however, he was trying to go on a flank, and that gets punished by Devil. Now it seems like Gambit is just trying to get some information, and they're getting punished for it.
We came into this round with nothing. Will they leave with nothing? Adren would like to salvage that AK-47. He's going to get the kill into Happy. These are expendable weapons, though, for EnVyUS. They'll be more than happy to exchange another one as long as they take away the AK-47. Planted now, so still quite a lot of time for Gambit to kill. To kill. They're getting one on for this. This is now doable. Suddenly it's a 2v2. They have no kits, they have no grenades other than flashbangs, but Kenny S and Devil, far from healthy, the pair of them. Kenny finally has landed a shot in this round as Indigo doubles. Oh, gets killed through the box partially. Chicken Coop not being the salvaging position he was hoping, and Devil is going to clutch out again, but Mo was so close. In fairness, though, the time was very low on the bomb.
I don't think he would have made the defuse, but still made it very costly for enemy, but they'll be happy they picked up the round. Still, we have 8 now, the Mag 7, everyone else on the rifles from Gambit, but money was slightly tight for that CT side.
Mag 7 certainly capable of causing some heartbreak. We actually saw a Nova and an XM earlier.
Yes.
On Cobblestone.
We love the main stones.
And Adrian is going to be running it close range behind the box, a position that a couple of his teammates have taken before. Interesting enough, EnVyUS, I haven't really seen him throw too many Molotovs up on the B platform just yet, so I think he should be okay for now. The issue for Gambit is already, with a lot of time remaining, they have bare minimum grenades to play with, no kits either, so this may force them into a stack on the B site, which is what's forthcoming now. It's only Hooch who's on A long by his lonesome. Ren's going to have to pull himself back so he doesn't eat any of this damage, but he's still able to keep enough in drop zone for now.
It's just going to be a happy airdrop alone. He's trying to pull a fake while his teammates are gathering towards it, A bomb side. They still have 2 smokes in play. Now here comes the push. Who's just going to get the early information and even gets the kill on the KD and MBK. He sees the bomb. Adrian as well getting a kill before Apex manages to return the favor, but it still is a 4-on-2 situation favoring Gambit, so they should be heavily favored into this one. And now it is a 1-on-3 as Apex right now just running towards that B bomb side. It would happen to be empty, so at least he should be able to get an after plan situation out of this.
In terms of 1v4s, I've got to say this is one of the more favorable situations to be in from Apex. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to do this by any stretch of imagination. All I'm saying is there's no grenades. We know he's a beast. He's been playing well recently. I'm just saying, you never quite know. Pop flash now off the wall. Nearly lands the headshot, comes back in, gets the spray down, but he's very low and gets picked off from behind. A brave effort from Apex, but the end result is the same. Gambit will lead 9-6 at half-time.
Yeah, what an interesting T side from EnVyUS to be said. We saw the Mac 10 rounds from them. A lot of interesting B pushes.
At half-time, you monster. Anyway, we're going to see if Mo can drop himself a 30 or a 40 bomb after this very short break, guys. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back for the final time this evening. We are going to be bringing you more action from Katowice for the Cologne major qualifiers. We find ourselves a few seconds away from resuming the second half. And we are going to be jumping in now. And straight away, my attention is drawn to the fact that MBK has himself some dual elites.
I was going to say the same thing. Because why not? Yeah, definitely likes to be a true warrior, doesn't he? We have two players putting stacked up here on drop, but it's going to be a lot of the Gambit players coming from long. The pop flash comes in, and here comes the push. It's going to be David on that side. MBK with those dualies does get a kill, making 2 before Hooge manages to answer back.
Alrighty then, that just happened. MBK with 2 kills is going to put down Gambit into Mo and Dozier. Mo again, just in case he just joined us a few moments prior, 24 kills in the first half. He's on for a 40. Dozier's going to take that kill from underneath his nose.
Questionable from Happy, if I'm honest. It's a 4-on-2 situation. You don't want to be exposed like that. Just get the information on full back. Let your teammates know. Instead, he takes the full-on duel, and now it becomes a 2-on-2. Mo gets the kill. David also down to 10 HP. Yeah, I think that he's the guy on that bomb side. Yep, he's the guy on the B bomb side as well. So it's going to be easy for sure. We have Apex on this flank. It's going to be those shots. I think the information should be in the hands of Gambit that he is indeed flanking, and now it becomes a 1-on-2. Not like this, Envy. Shouldn't be happening. The bomb is making its way towards a bomb side, but nice shot from Apex to make it into a 1-on-1.
It's the 2 top fraggers as well. Apex 15, Mo 25. And it all comes down to this. Tech9 plays a USP. No Kevlar against 44 health, and there's Apex with the headshot, keeping EnVyUS alive only just, and that really was EnVyUS's round to lose. Yeah. And they very nearly did just that. Could have been the map as well, in fairness, at this stage.
Yeah, exactly. It was not as bad as we saw from HR against G2.
Oh man.
In a 4-on-2. Still makes me triggered, but still obviously Happy being the first guy that made the mistake of just taking a full-on duel in a 4-on-2. Instead, he should have just peeked from the corner of the door into drop, get the information, fall back, have a teammate in connector, and just play as a team. Instead, a lot of individualistic thinking there, and at least what it looks like. But finally, it's going to be Envy that gets that one, and as we can see right now, Gambit decides to force into this. They have a Galil, 4 Tech9s, and Pop Flash goes into towards B as well. Plenty of utility for them to work with.
Most definitely. They have the SMGs and bulk EnVyUS, plus the Mag 7 and the 5.7. KennyS, of course, holding off for now to get the AWP as soon as possible. His bread and butter. Adrian going to be holding out with Mo. Here comes the push. MBK gets flash, but he's going to be able to recover in time. I say that, but he's still going to get picked off for in doing so. Devlin had to turn his attention to the drop zone. That cost him his life. A double stack though now. Happy steps up and gets the MP9 kill, but then gets traded out from Space. Another play from EnVyUS. Has to try and retake the site at a man disadvantage against an assault rifle.
The MP9 and a 5.7 nonetheless. It's going to be that 5.7 left in a 1-on-3, and no kill coming the way of Envy, and it is going to crumble once again for them. 1 by 1 they died too. There was no buddy system going on with that CT side at all. They could not be trying to trade those kills at all. Gambit winning that force buy, going to the B bomb site.
You can see what EnVyUS wanted to do. You can see the plan they had in store, but Gambit had other ideas. And that was good as that clutch was from Apex. It's been pretty much nullified. Gambit still leapfrog ahead. 3 rounds, you'd assume it would be 4. 3 HEs in the hands of EnVyUS.
I think we saw this before from team where they were just waiting for, I think it was an IP actually in E-League. They were waiting for a push to come into B, but they just mistimed the grenades, and it didn't work for them. But it's a nice idea, and the HGs, if they're actually spot on, they do make a lot of damage. But emphasis on the word spot on.
And then with USP or P2000, if the players have been ripped to shreds from the shrapnel, you can easily finish them off. Also a Zeus for MBK. Apex pushing up long. There's a decoy down, so keep his attention for a few moments. Play down to his right-hand side. Did he just spot Mo? Not entirely sure. Definitely would have heard the footsteps regardless, so the call will come out. But actually, those just managed to get through onto the A site, round the back, and this could be a real issue for EnVyUS going forward if he gets himself into B site. But meanwhile, Apex is doing work. He's dropped the bomb out. AK-47 picked up. And with Dozier already on the site and likely to claim this frag onto Happy, now A site is going to be aggressed on, and this is going to be the round for Gambit, very likely.
Yeah, Dozier once again. We saw this in the previous one against Optic as well. He did that numerous times where he just timed his push perfectly through the side hall, danger or middle, a spot where no CT was found, and managed to go behind the whole team and basically securing this round for his teammates. Quite a clean one as well. Obviously 4 members still alive from Gambit, but PK might be getting something with this Zeus, but none to be found. In the end, Space knows better.
EnVyUS, man, their economy is still in no position to get a solid buy-up. This could be half-buy territory, honestly. The only reason why I'm not 100% on that is because it's EnVyUS. They do like to go for forces, but there we go, this is a smart play. They'll be able to get an open M4s in the next round, but this will likely put them at a 5-round deficit, and that's the issue. Boost in, Happy throws in the grenade, gonna be boosted up afterwards from MBK. Peers through, gets himself fragged from Space. Now here comes the retaliation charge, but it's into the arms of Gambit, and they will oblige with frags. Left, right, and center. Adrian with 2, Space with 2 as well, and MBK with his Deagle. All that stands between Gambit and a 12th round. There's one tap. Nicely done. Pretty sexy if he landed that second shot on Mo, but it's not going to happen. EnVyUS will have a buy, and this is going to be one of the first tests for Gambit. Are they going to pass?
That could have probably made us tinkle there a little bit to hit that second one, but didn't happen. As you said, now it's going to be that first weapon round. Can he heal that up? Enforce for everyone else. Let's see what kind of an approach they have for holding the CD side. Seems like they're sending Apex there on towards that A long area. And Kenny just going to be holding middle, so very traditional. They have some emphasis in that drop zone, just judging from the radar. But very traditional so far from Envy in terms of their CD hold. Gambit though, as well, just taking their speed time. They have a little bit of a stack there in B long. Right up, trying to see over the smoke.
So you can see that damage is being inflicted for MBK. It's 2 grenades down to 41 now. Mo, meanwhile, has his sights trained on the box. He's waiting for a potential boost over the box or some jumps, some information. And if Devil does, he will end up being, I'm sure, on the receiving end of a battering, because Mo has continued through on this half from where he left off in the first one. Here comes a boost onto Tree. Mo now on 27 frags.
And again, you see Dosha just working his way in A. All his teammates are working B, just waiting for the right time. I think they're just waiting for Dosha to see someone before they initiate towards the B bomb side. They still got 45 on the clock. Dosha might be able to get long, but Apex, I think, should be able to see him. It's going to be Devil to open things up on long, but Dosha on A side getting a kill. And that's going to be the initiator right now. The B push is coming in.
It's coming in. Or at least it was.
Yeah, it was.
And now they're backing away. But look at Hooch's position. He is in prime position to strike. And originally, I think Gambit thought about going back to A, but the fact that Hooch is behind enemy lines definitely gave credence to going back to the B site. Now it falls on Devil. He needs to get a kill. What's happening? He doesn't get the kill fast enough, and that costs MBK his life. He needed to land that the first or second time of asking, and that in itself could have just slipped this round away from EnVyUS, unless Kenny S can clutch in his 1v2. But he shouldn't have to in this situation, in all honesty. He had no Kevlar at the start of the round. Of course, he still doesn't. And caught between 2 players. They've been playing very passively, and there we go. It's Hooch that finalizes round 20. And again, I've got to say, Devil, what was that?
That was a whiff. That was honestly a whiff. I mean, there's nothing else to it, really. I mean, you get 2 clean bursts toward a player. You should be taking the first one easily. Yeah. And it costs your teammate's life. It costs you a round.
Well, you could see as he was tapping across, MBK got killed. So if he kills him 2 or 3 seconds earlier, MBK's still alive. And EnVyUS should be good to go. 6-round deficit now. And after the performance from EnVyUS yesterday, this is a shock to the system again, but I suppose I should have expected it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really know, what we're gonna get for Envy right now. That's a big question mark. I mean, they are definitely trying to find themselves. Maybe they're even overthinking things. I mean, with all the Mac 10 rounds and this and that, trying to be overly clever. Obviously, I don't know. Their T side was not overly fantastic. They did grab what, 6, 7 rounds? 7 rounds was that? Yeah.
6, I think.
6 rounds.
9-6.
Yeah,
Let me just
yeah,
double check.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 6.
So interesting in that sense. Obviously, they decide they want the pistol and then get destroyed by the force buy towards the B bomb side again. Just playing very individually, one by one, no buddy system intact, so that a player could actually be able to help one another when one of the players were attacked. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird right now.
Even in the pistol round they won, remember it was a 4v2 and they nearly let that one slip, borrowing Apex's clutch. So even in the pistol round they look really shaky. EnVyUS just haven't really shown up, barring Apex. Take nothing away from Gambit though. It's easy to say, oh, EnVyUS aren't performing again. You know, they've gone back into the slump of the last half a year, I guess you could say. But Mo's played like a god. He's on 27 kills. The rest of his team's been filling in. We've seen big plays from Hoosh, Dozier as well. It's been everyone really on the side of Gambit's been playing well. So I don't think you can take anything away from them either.
No, definitely not. But at the same token, you have to say, I mean, EnVyUS is even though it's been a long time, a former major champion, and they have Apex, Kenny, these kind of players who should be having the time of their life in this competition. Instead, definitely not having the time of their lives right now, being 7-13 down and trying to take a tactical pauses, think things through.
Just a mental reset, I guess, as well, you know. They can still bounce back from this. We've seen them do it before.
Yep.
It's cobblestone. It's their stomping ground at the end of the day. They've always been a solid team on this map. They wrecked Dignitas like 16-4 or something like that, and Dignitas are no scrubs when it comes to cobblestone. So they know we have it in them to take this one back and somehow power through, but I mean, the signs aren't looking good. This round is going to pretty much be a gimme for Gambit. They'll be moving more than likely to 14-7, and from there on in, it's just EnVyUS have no more room for error.
And also, I mean, individually speaking, they've all been missing par Apex pretty much. He's the only one to be able to do really anything in terms of the numbers, but I think we're going to be getting back into this. Let's see if Envy has found an answer with that timeout they took. A mental reset maybe is the main key right now, like you said, Metas. But let's see how they pans out. Obviously, it's going to be a save run here, a partial buy, slight investment, but still have the money to buy the following round for Envy.
Also, the context of this game is both teams are 1-0 right now in the qualifiers. Win 3, you're qualified. Lose 3, and you're out.
Yep.
It's pretty much that simple. So if Gambit were to win this, they'd be in such a commanding position to qualify for the major. Whereas EnVyUS then would slip back to a 1-1, and then it's back up in the air again. But let's get back into the action. 3-2 formation from EnVyUS. Nothing out of the ordinary. That grenade I thought would absolutely wreck Devil, but only does 8 health. It almost looked like it landed on his forehead.
Well, there must have been a bit of that wall in the way, so not making any damage, obviously. Very similar round to any other from Gambit right now. Doshi up, he's the lone man towards the bomb side. Everyone else working the B. Space making his way down. Drop gets the first kill on MBK. And raining grenades coming in, but Devil's going to be able to answer onto Space.
1-for-1 trade, but Devil's very low. Has the AK-47, his teammate of Apex, the talisman for EnVyUS today. And indeed, yesterday, is silenced. Put 6 foot under. Buried. EnVyUS now looking to somehow claw the way back, but Dozier with 3 kills in quick succession and a 4K overall. We'll be closing out round 21. And now EnVyUS are on to one of their last lifelines. It's going to be double op set up in play. Happy with one, Kenny with the other.
This is their final countdown, has to be said. Like you said, 2 ops coming into play. Let's see if that is going to make a difference. They're going to be able to apply more pressure on some part of the map. Maybe play a little bit more aggressive on A. It seems very similar to what we've seen before. Kenny just spotting mid. Have Apex there in the side hall, but it's going to be plow towards the B bomb site. Adrian is going to kill, but it's going to be happy MBK with the trade-offs to make it a 2-on-1 for Envy.
A solid flash onto Mo means he actually ended up shooting off his AWP and he wasn't sure where the player was pushing. So he's going to get taken down. He's definitely started to slow down a little bit. But everyone on Gambit, by the way, has more kills than deaths. And as I'm speaking, Kenny S makes short work of Dozier. So, Hooch, what can you do in this situation? No grenades to play with. It's going to have to come down to raw fragging. He's got the bomb and he's got time. Apex is pushing him. Oh, he's never going to expect he's behind the box. Surely Apex is about to walk into his demise. Gets picked off. And now the call comes through and Hooch decides to play the mind games. He's going to be going over towards A.
Just got a minute to play, 50 seconds to play with as well. still undecisive of what he wants to do. Actually, he decides to go to B as Kenny is making his way to the back of his side. So again, the situation turns on its head by a nice play from Hooch, has to be said.
Really
Kind of
smart
top
play.
box on the plateau.
Yeah.
That's where the experience really shows. I mean, Hooch has been around for the longest time, and now it becomes a really hard retake for Kenny.
So intelligent. Faked the rotation twice, and Kenny S bit down hard on that bait. And now with the AWP, he's going to be playing close proximity. Is he going to assume that Hooch would go back to the same position where he killed Apex? The smoke's down, there is a kit as well, and Hooch just tapped through the smoke, lands the headshot, and EnVyUS have 8 rounds in a row to take us to overtime. Gambit are on the brink of a 2-0.
Wow, that's just interesting. I mean, it was, again, I think 4-2 situation favoring Envy in that, well, after the push came in. I think our best situation was around that. And then just 1 by 1, Envy once again getting picked off. And obviously a massive play from Hooch there in that 1-on-2. That's a compliment for that play.
Wow, that was just pure on-game sense. Very high in-game IQ from Hooch.
He might not be the biggest fragger of the team. He doesn't have to be. He's the in-game leader.
Yeah.
He's a veteran aspect of the team. Just a nice little play there. I think that's something a lot of people can learn from. Patience is key.
Definitely. Very good at clutching. Kind of Rubino-esque in that case. Nice shot from Kenny.
Should have had some of that patience as well. Goes down to that Kenny's scout there in middle, and now it's going to be a 5-on-4 advantage for Envy.
Even with the advantage though, the weapons definitely favour Gambit. It's AKs and an M4 playing a scout and 2 Mag 7s. It's all about position now from EnVyUS. MBK is going to take the close proximity with the Mag 7, but his teammate of Kenny's gone down. MBK with 1, and a second, the bomb's been dropped. And he's spinning around for a third, lands the jumping headshot onto Adren, and turns this back around in EnVyUS's favour. AK picked up, Hooch is about to peek and gets his head taken off his shoulders. Nearly, actually. MBK finishes off with a chest shot, but wow. Jumping jack, Mag 7, get wrecked.
What a massive round from MBK. It was all over already, but then MBK comes into the picture with a fantastic 4K, 3 of those with a Max 7. The full weapons, obviously, in the close proximity. It's an awesome weapon. And then finalizes things with a kill on the Hooch as well. And that's going to be Envy just living another round here. But a lot of work for them to do, so 7 more rounds to even get that OT going.
Yeah, it is hard to get too hyped about this because they still find themselves so far behind. That's a beautiful boost.
Exactly. That was nice. Cool to see that.
Totally mitigating the smoke as well. You could see that Adren was like, I'm safe. Oh, actually I'm dead. All right, brilliant. Fantastic.
Get wrecked.
Nice from EnVyUS. Again, though, can we get too carried away? There's still a lot of climbing to do before they get anywhere near the summit of this comeback.
Exactly. Well, you have to wait for a couple more rounds at least to get overly excited. Now it's going to be Spades and Hooch playing towards the drop, and MBK taking that duel. Not really sure he timed that 100% like he should have, but took the duel. He went down, and it becomes a 4-on-4. That's going to be an opening on the map. And look at this emphasis towards the A-bomb side by Envy. And looking at where the bomb is going, that might be the right call as well. And now Apex with that Max 7 this time around. He might be having a ball, but no, the timing, that's horrible. Dosha with the kill. Now it's going to be all happy. He's going to get 1 kill onto Dosha. Still under immense pressure from Mo, who gets the kill. And now it's a 3-on-2.
Mo got dinked. I thought he was going to get finished off, but no, he doesn't. Meanwhile, Kenny, how is he still alive? Spades nearly totally whiffs his opportunity. Now Devil with a Mag 7, but he's on top of the bomb. And the Mag 7 here is actually pretty sweet. He's going to get the kill onto Mo. AK-47 picked up now, turns his attention towards the door. Unbeknownst to him, Spades is already pushing out and Devil gets the clutch. The issue for EnVyUS though is that with losing 4 players, this could end up catching up with them if it goes forward. MP9 picked up though from Happy.
Yeah, no money really for Gambit. They have Mo at 5K and Hooch at 5.7, so technically they could, I guess, buy, but they want to play the long game. They're just upgrading pistols and getting some grenades. I think that's a smart move, but so Envy maybe failing from that issue. Like you just pointed out, their economy is not pretty, but neither is Gambit's.
I like that Gambit decided to just hold off for now on their commitment. And to be fair, we've seen with this kind of weaponry as well, they've caused EnVyUS a lot of issues. So it's not even out of the question that they get this round anyway. But there's Kenny. Good opening pick. The bomb dropped actually over onto the B side in connector. So Gambit haven't really given anything away other than the life of Doja. Hooch with the one tap onto Apex. Not like this, EnVyUS. Come on now.
Well, it's a classic Russian Deagle coming into play. Used to be a massive thing in 1.6 and has just come into CSGO as well.
And with that kill, it actually thins out the defense over on B because they had to send the second player over on A to try and deal with a potential all-out rush. And in doing so now, if they can get this opening pick onto B side, it could be back open for Gambit. But to be fair, the hammer has came down swiftly from EnVyUS. Kenny S with the 5-7. Make short work of Mo. And the bomb out in an awkward position for Adrian, so definitely no longer as doable as it once was. That's an interesting smoke. That actually allows Adrian to pick up the bomb and get this planted now. And that was thrown from EnVyUS.
Not sure they heard the bomb plan, but well, they know it. The veteran's going to be able to play up close and play with this smoke that Envy just threw. This could be beautiful right now. I think he's behind Happy. I'm not sure if Happy realizes Adrian is making his way
Oh my god.
to connector, and the bomb is being touched right now. Oh, he knows it's not going to get diffused, but I think it becomes obvious now where his position, though. Oh, that's going to be Kenny getting that kill somehow anyway. And he saves it for Envy. But what a interesting play there. Adrian so close from clutching it for his team.
That had highlight reel written all over it. He played it so smart up until the last second when Kenny picks him off. Oh, I thought that round was his when he went through the smoke. Smoke nearly the MVP for Gambit, but keep in mind as well, that was just Tech9's by and large with the Deagle and Kevlar, so now Gambit bounced right back in with AKs and a very healthy dosage of grenades. EnVyUS not out of the woods just yet, far from it.
Definitely, and then we're going to see those smokes towards the B bomb side coming in from mid at while Adrian. And one of his teammates being, not sure who it was, very close to that B bomb side. It was Space. Here comes the smoke raining in and taking over that B plateau. Devil being really up close here. Space opens things up on Kenny. Now Mo as well becomes a 4-on-3 situation.
Yeah, he's happy to pull something special out. He's getting picked off from Space. Got a whole lot worse now. EnVyUS circling the drain. Life support starting to dwindle. MBK with his P2000 is only going to do small damage, and Gambit have pulled it off. A pretty big upset overall. EnVyUS have been favourites to take this one convincingly. But Gambit 16-10 victors.
Who would have thought coming in this Gambit's going to be sitting at 2-0 come the end of today?
Especially considering that they would have got one of the more difficult draws against EnVyUS. You know, coming into this, they could have got drawn against a lot of different teams, you know, that got the 1-0. You're looking at like Cloud9, Mouse Sports, for example. But they got EnVyUS and they're probably thinking, oh, god damn it, we're going to go 1-1. But
considering also that they kind of, you know, bailed a loss there against Optic because they were supposed to lose that first game, hands down, but managed to get it. And now they have won Cbble twice, and they're one more win away from getting to Cologne, to the major.
And they just beat EnVyUS on Cobblestone.
Yeah.
Which in itself is nuts.
Yeah, and Envy with interesting philosophy, especially towards the T side, has to be said though. I think there's going to be a lot to talk about.
That Mac 10 buy, the 4 Mac 10s with the AK, I don't even. Maybe one day we'll find out.
I wanna hear the philosophy behind that.
So Mo finishes with a 30 bomb as well. I think he finished 32-15, very well played. Considering he was on 24, he definitely took his foot off the accelerator a little bit. Plus his team started to pull their weight a little bit more as well. But take nothing away from Gambit, very solid performance. And off that performance, they're going to be hard to beat tomorrow as well.
Yep. Well, I think our analyst boys are already there on the desk. So Alex, take it away.
Cheers, gents. Final game of day 2 here at the offline qualifiers, live from the Katowice ESL Arena, done and dusted. Let's go ahead and quickly reflect on that before, and just before you hit that X in the top right corner, just before, hang out, because we are going to be telling you the matches coming up tomorrow. No particular order, but we'll be able to tell you guys what to look forward to into your weekend of Counter-Strike. But first, guys, let's address the game in hand. Gambit picking up the win versus Envy. Neither of you anticipated this one. Did we get a little too excited? Did we get our foot on the Envy hype train a little too quickly?
Well, judging from how they played that T side, perhaps, yeah.
Okay.
I think we might have, jumped on the bandwagon a tiny bit too early. I think, not to put it very kindly, it was an interesting take and a different philosophy on how to play T-side, especially with that Mag 10 AK buy, which I have never seen before, at least.
The Mag 10 AK, and we saw MBJ actually get caught out with it right in the final round as well, just sitting there with his P2K like, this is all I've got. Blue, what about you? What do we think about Gambit and their performance there? I mean, Mo had
Mo obviously, of course, like that's a given. Like Mo has this amazing performance, but it's been like a common theme now because it's that way in their match yesterday too. Spaze, I think, was the big player. The newer addition for this team comes in and is the hero for them versus Optic, and a big reason as to why they bring it back from the brink in that matchup. So I was assuming, and I think we brought it up in the pregame segment too, that because of how iffy that game was versus Optic, just bringing it back at the end there, that they were going to struggle greatly versus EnVyUS, but it's the exact opposite, that they dominate them for a large portion of that matchup, and EnVyUS are left with such a low score that they just couldn't recover from that, even when they started to pick up a few rounds towards the end there.
Any closing thoughts on that one? I'm sorry, I'm distracted. I'm slowly getting a feed of what matches we've got tomorrow. But let's
being pulled out of a hat right now.
I'm almost certain Graham or Delayham is just sitting there waving his magic wand, trying to get these matchups sorted for you. Of course, it is entirely random. If you have the same score, you get put with someone of the same score. Currently, it's intriguing. Let me get this right. I had it in front of me. Yeah, so only 4 of the 8 teams from the Miners have actually got a map win currently. And these guys from Columbus are doing a whole lot better. But this is a little recap, of course, for you of where we started our day. This is the round 2, but it also will tell you what we did witness today as well. There it is. And you can see 4 teams sitting on that rather scary 0 and 2. And so, Fluffy Gangsters, Renegades, Immortals, and Team Empire all sit in the scary position where they can get eliminated tomorrow, Saturday. And of course, quite the opposite. On the other end of the spectrum, we have G2, FaZe, Mouse, and Gambit sitting just 1 win away from that beautiful, comfortable spot at the Major, just up next month in the LANXESS Arena in Cologne. Tickets are still available, by the way, guys. Do be sure to try and hunt them down. There's only a few. I keep seeing it popping up. There's only a few remaining, so do come and hang out with us over in Cologne.
I feel like there's 2 big surprises on either end of the spectrum with the 2-0 and the 0-2. Obviously, Immortals going down 0-2. I still actually do agree to the fact that Tyloo win that match that they played today, considering the form that they brought into it. But like just coming into this event blindly, I thought Immortals were going to bring a much stronger form. But it seems like with the loss of Peacemaker and as well with the fairly poor performance that we've had here from one of their star players, dropping the ball here and that being Bolts, it's just all of a sudden seems like a much weaker team, and I'm a bit worried for them about how they're going to perform tomorrow. Thankfully, the rest of the competition there that should, in theory, be able to easily crush them, but now it seems like the pressure's getting to them here too, and that could prove fatal for them tomorrow.
I mean, it is scary, the fact that this is a very, very exciting team, very hyped team by us at the desk and by the community as well. To see them 0 and 2 and to perhaps, potentially not see Immortals at the Major would be not a travesty, but it would be a surprise, no doubt about it. I do have the matchups for you guys, or at least I had them before my electronics failed me. Okay, so I'm going to do it one by one. Gambit, who we did just see, are going to be playing versus FaZe. That's our first game. Following that, I'm just going to do a quick fire. G2 versus Mouse Sports. We're going to be seeing Hellraisers versus Dignitas, Envy versus Splice, Flipside versus Optic, and then Tyloo Cloud9. Fluffy Renegades, Immortals, Empire. So Immortals, their game of survival is versus Empire. Alongside that, Fluffy Gangsters are going to have to survive versus Renegades. So that's going to be an intriguing one. One of those teams is going home. In that same vein, we're going to be seeing Tyloo go up against Cloud9. I mean, just thinking about that one's going to be... That should be fun.
Really fun matchup, yeah.
But across the board, a lot of games to look forward to. It does look like it could be getting a little easier for EnVyUS as they go up against Splice. So lots of great games to look forward to. I'll let you guys flick through them at your own leisure.
Jab.
What are you talking about there?
Hey,
Splice.
There's a real soft spot for Splice in my heart. The fact that Davey sat there in his interview and went, yeah, well, we don't win much, so when we do, we make a lot of noise. So much love for Davey and Splice. They're just happy to be here and happy to be playing a game they love. Right, let's get into it and let's go ahead and disappear over to the stage. It's been the end of day 2 here at the offline qualifiers, and that's it from us here at the desk. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we will see you next time. But now, Mitch is going to round it out with an interview with Hooch.
Thank you very much, guys, for that wrap-up as well, and interesting to see what some of our winners' matchups are going to be tomorrow. But before we get to that point as well, I'm glad to be able to chat to Hooch again as well. It was fun last time, mate. Welcome back. That game for you guys as well, just a super strong performance. It feels like you guys were dominating in that game even more than in your first game. But let's talk about Envy, and let's talk about what you expected. Was this actually the Envy you expected to be going up against?
Well, we played practice with them on Cbble, and we feel confident on this map, and we're happy that we didn't play another map. So Envy played not so good this match, to be honest. Like, we played good, but they didn't make like. We had a really nice start, and when you start on Cbble and you have like 5 rounds as CT already, it's really not hard. It's really easy to finish the game like that. But we choked a little bit again, like as always. But we managed to close it, and it was a good game.
It was indeed. Tell me, and be honest with me here as well, with you guys, obviously, with a bit of a newer form team and some changes having been made previously. Did you honestly expect to be already at the end of day 2, 1 game away from qualifying for Cologne?
I don't know. It's just I said to my team that we have to play like 1 day, 1 game. It's like that. We won 2 games. We need to win tomorrow, and I don't expect something before the event. So just if you prepare, like just need to show what you prepared, just like that.
So you go in with no expectations and just try and play your own game and come out on top, you'd say?
Well, of course, like we have expectation to be like a good team, and like we practice for that. But I don't like, and we want to qualify, of course. But we just the goal is 1 game, 1 win, just like that.
Keep it simple, perfect way to do it. Hey Hooch, thank you so much for again joining me here, and best of luck tomorrow as well. You can obviously go and relax now and celebrate 1 game away from being at ESL One Cologne, of course, in the LANXESS arena. And, of course, Gambit aren't the only team on the precipice of that. Tomorrow, it all starts to kick off in a big way. Today was important in setting up the storylines and putting us on the right track. But tomorrow, of course, 2 teams will be eliminated. And 2 teams will qualify for ESL One Cologne. It's going to be same time as today, ladies and gentlemen, 12:30 local time here. Of course, eliminations and teams are going to be going through to the major. We're going to also be getting an audience in here as well. We're going to up the atmosphere a little bit more. But until then, ladies and gentlemen, good night. We'll see you tomorrow.